What if your body was a gift and contribution to your life and not something that you've been stuck with? What if your body could change quickly and easily? Right Body for You will inspire you and show you a different way of creating the body and the life you truly desire. Now here's your host, Donnielle.
And welcome to Right Body for You with your host, Donnielle. That's me, always on an adventure of life, traipsing through sounds and internet and countries and scheduling to be with you here today. And, you know, honestly, I love doing the show. It's one of my favorite parts of the week. I've had a long history with radio. My mom was in radio since I was 12. So I've been working with her on radio since I was 12 years old, and it's just absolutely incredible. And it has changed so much over the years. And, I mean, the fact that I'm on the internet talking to you guys everywhere. You know, I was from those old guards, you know, where they used to have to go into a studio somewhere and actually sit in front of a microphone and be somewhere. I mean, you know, try to be in the little small town of Utah that I used to live in for a long time, right? All right. So today we're talking about be your own mistake, which I find as a hilarious and awesome, dynamic, fun topic today. Trust me. You ever have those days when it's just like, wow, could this be any different? Could this be more of an adventure? Which, by the way, just FYI, the universe does actually tend to give you what you ask for. So if you ask for something like, wow, could this be even more of an adventure? Yes, it can always be more of an adventure. You could have, 3 minutes before a live radio show, and then construction workers start doing construction outside of your window. They're, pulling out the window from below you. And then you go to your car to do the show, and then the workers are going to pull out the dumpster. So, it's always an adventure. So when you ask how can it get more of an adventure, just be aware of what you might get. And here's the thing. A lot of us might call these things mistakes. What if they're not actually a mistake? What if it's just the adventure? What if it's just the life? What if it's just the creation of the day? And what awareness are you actually receiving from it? Okay? So these are some of the things that we get to talk about today. This was a topic that my producer and I put down as a show to do. And then I didn't put any description of it. So a month later, I look back, I'm like, be your own mistake. I'm not sure I know what that means. And from that is actually this hilarious, fun thing, because the energy changes. See, because people look at that and go, well, that was a mistake to not actually put down what it was, because then you didn't know what it was, and what if it's something different? And the way I look at that is good. I'm glad it's something different, because the energy is always constantly shifting and changing. What if it wasn't actually a mistake? What if there was nothing is a mistake like that? For me, the topic changed. Whatever it was when I initially put it down, the energy changed. And if I had tried to force it into what it was going to be earlier, it wouldn't be a fun show. It would have. You ever have those moments where you're doing something and it kind of feels like you're putting your head through a wall? Yeah, kind of like that. That's when you're forcing the energy of something that is not actually matching, okay? And so for me, this isn't a mistake. This is an awareness of an energy. So let me ask you guys, how many times have you actually had an awareness of an energy and people have called it a mistake? People have called it a procrastination. Oh, isn't that a fun one? When we're talking about be your own mistake, And people love to talk about procrastination. Well, procrastination, you held off to the last minute or you never got it done. Well, have you guys ever, procrastinated, quote unquote, procrastinated, and then put off doing it, and then come to find out you didn't actually have to do it, or it changed, and so it required to be done differently. Yeah, anybody else? Me too. I used to be what I would call a huge procrastinator. And, people call that mistakes. You screwed up. You blah, blah, blah. Well, what if it's not? What if it's actually just an awareness of what's going on? And what I mean by that is now I want you to ask a question. Next time you find yourself procrastinating, next time you find yourself dragging your feet about something, I want you to ask, so truth, do I actually, okay, so there's a number of questions here. First, if you're procrastinating, you can be like, truth, does this project desire to be done? Okay? Notice I'm not asking you, the infinite being. I'm asking the project. You want to ask the project energy. Every project has an energy of its own, whether it's a radio show, whether it's a book, whether it's a proposal for work, whether it's anything like that. It has a specific energy to it. So you want to ask, project, do you desire to be done? And it's interesting, when you open yourself up to these energies, you become aware of the consciousness of your body, for one thing, and your projects, whatever they may be, projects, hobbies, whatever you want to call them, okay? And so you want to ask the energy of the project, truth, do you desire to be done? And sometimes you get a no. So it's not that you were procrastinating, making a mistake. It was just that the project didn't desire to be done. I've done that before. Even with Access, I've put off doing something, and then somebody's come to me and go, oh my gosh, did you, like when I used to do a lot of the video editing, right? And I was putting off finishing this video, and I'm like, I just can't finish this video. I just don't want to. No, no. You ever had those moments where it's like, I'm just going to go here and do this, things like that. And then I had the worldwide coordinator Skype me urgently. She's like, oh my gosh, did you finish that video yet? And I'm like, and of course, I instantly went into the wrongness of me. I instantly went into, oh crap, I'm in so much trouble. They need it now and it's not done. I am such a bad person. I should be spanked, right? And so I very timidly went, no, I'm sorry. I haven't had a chance to finish it yet. And her next Skype was, oh, good. And I'm like, excuse me? She's like, oh, well, we're completely changing that class. We're changing the location, and we're going to change dates, and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, oh. And I had some of the footage of the location in the video. So it wasn't that I was procrastinating because I'm a bad person. I was aware of an energy that this reality describes as procrastination, but I was aware of an energy of changes coming, okay? So you can ask, truth, project, desire to be done, and then the second question you ask is, if you get a yes, the project desires to be done, is like, okay, do I require more information here? Is something changing? Because quite often you get those, oh, good, because blah, 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 right? So it's all very interesting, okay? What we term as mistakes in this reality isn't necessarily always a mistake. And, and I love when people get fired, they always have this, I'm a bad person, or it was completely out of the blue, or they acknowledge, yeah, I was slacking off and I didn't want to do it, or I was slacking off, I don't blame them for firing me, blah, blah, blah. So then you actually want to also ask yourself, so did you want the job? Did you actually create that firing? I don't know of anybody who hasn't been fired from a job that they actually desired to be at. I haven't seen anybody fired from a job. Now, if we want to talk layoffs and whatever, companies shut down, that's a different thing. But we're actually just like they walk in and went, I'm sorry, we're going to escort you to the door. You're no longer working here. Different type of letting go. Excuse me. But I haven't seen anybody yet that has done that they haven't actually desired to get fired. So when we're talking about this mistakes thing, what actually is a mistake? Now, you notice I just gave a couple of examples of what this reality would term as mistake, and yet it was a brilliant creation. You didn't want to work there anymore, or brilliant awareness of what is required, your brilliant awareness of the energy, of the change, of the flow of things, okay? So truly, what is a mistake? What if a mistake is nothing but a misidentification and misapplication of something? What if it's just our judgment of it that makes it the wrongness? Okay? And I know we all love to say that, oh, I'm such an idiot. Well, what if you're a brilliant idiot? Idiot savant. What if we're actually idiot savants with mistakes? I did some recent hiring to assist me with Right Body for You. Yay! And it was so cute because in one of the, they filled out the survey, and in one of these questions, I can't remember the question itself, but her response was, I am the mistake queen. And it was so cute because she had absolutely no judgment on it. So there was no burn, there was no buzz. She was just, and I didn't have a reaction. See, that's the thing, because she had no judgment of it. I had no reaction to it either. And so when I read, I am the mistake queen, and I'm always getting awarenesses from him, blah, 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 I'm like, well, good for you. That's awesome. And I didn't actually knock her down for, and make me not want to hire her for saying she's a mistake queen. Because in this reality, how many times are people like, it's the mistake queen, why would I want to hire you? I don't want somebody who makes mistakes. So I ask again, what actually is a mistake? Is it maybe an awareness of energy? Is it maybe a brilliant creation? Is it a brilliant awareness? Is it a brilliant awareness of energies of life? What are you creating with the mistakes you are trying to judge? What if those mistakes are actually some of the creation of your life? Have you guys ever had those moments where it was some of the worst mistakes, quote unquote, and then you look back years later and it was one of the best changes of your life, or biggest changes, or most brilliant thing that you didn't know until you look back? Yeah, me too. All right, we're going to take our first little break. When we come back, we're going to talk about how we like to blame others for the mistakes we make and what that actually creates or doesn't create. Okay? This is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You. We're on A2Zen.fm, and I'll be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body for You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body for You energetic tools to change their body and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A2Zen.fm.
What if there's nothing wrong with you? What if you're far greater than you've ever given yourself credit for? What if it's time to know the gift and the contribution you are to the world and to like yourself a lot more? Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago, I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. Asking questions opens doors to infinite possibilities. And it's not about finding the answer. It's about being the question. Always. What I'm inviting you to step into is something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Newton, Da Vinci, Gandhi, Picasso, and Aristotle all knew to be true. What if no question is too big or too small? What if anything is possible for you? What if together we could create a kinder, gentler, happier world? Is now the time? Go to beingyouclass.com and sign up for a free video series, My Gift to You. beingyouclass.com. What if you, truly being you, are the gift and change this world requires? beingyouclass.com.
Check out the new ringtones from Access Consciousness.
What is it possible? What is it possible? Smoking hot. Smoking hot.
And everyone's favorite,
Take a pass. Take a pass.
download the latest and hottest accessory. Go to accessconsciousness.com/ringtones for all the details on how to download to your iPhone today.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at a2zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. This is Donnielle, your host. Welcome to the Adventure Zone. This is what I am dubbing this show. Today is the Adventure Day. And we're also talking about be your own mistakes. And, you know, and why I'm talking about this is it's like, how many times do we actually look at that and actually have fun with our mistakes? Our quote-unquote mistakes. We look at that and we go, wow, that was a great adventure. I had so much fun with that. So what if you're actually making mistakes? Because it's fun for you. It's an adventure, you know. There's a number of things. I always knew this would be an interesting show. Okay, so we often like to blame others for our mistakes, right? We often like to blame them for who we be or how we be or how much, you know, and when you're blaming people for who you be or how you be or what you be, how much change do you actually create in your life? Okay? What if the true power and ability to change is blaming yourself for you? What do I mean by that? Because I know when I wrote the description of it, I'm like, people are going to love this. What if you blame, what if the ability to change is blaming yourself for you? Like, excuse me? Blame yourself? Well, what if it's not exactly blame that I'm talking about? What if it's just acknowledging that you are a creation of your life? You are it. You are who you be because of the choices and that you have made over the years. Okay? You know, and we always like to blame the mom or the parents or upbringing. And, you know, I'm always saying that. I'm like, you know what? That only goes so far. You can only blame it on the upbringing for so long before you actually have to stop and go, actually, you know what? I am me. I have choice here. And, you know, I hear a rumor that you have choice in all things. As Gary Douglas, the founder of Access Consciousness, likes to say, you have choice in all things. And, you know, and it's the one thing that really pisses people off in class because somebody will get up and ask Gary questions. They'll be like, blah, 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 blah. Tell me about this. Tell me, how do I change this? What do I do with this? How do I be this and not this? And he goes, choose. And they just kind of look at him dumbfounded. They're like, don't you have anything else? He's like, choose now. And, which, trust me, the man is the master of the short answers that speak volumes. He's pretty dang amazing with that. And, you know, he always, trust me, you ask Gary a question, you get an awareness. So those moments when he's like, choose, it's what you need to hear at the time. Because how many of us are refusing to choose? And part of this blaming others for who you be, how you be, and what you be is part of this refusing to choose. Okay? Because we do this, we blame the parents, we blame the upbringing, we blame the bad boss, we blame the bad friends, we blame the fast food. Yes, I had to throw that one in there. We blame all of that kind of stuff, but what if it's something else? What if you could actually look at yourself with vulnerability and see that you are a product of your creation? You are your own Frankenstein monster. Yes, somebody just thought that. That's very cute. You are your own Frankenstein monster. You are a product. You are a result of the choices you've made up until this moment. One thing I say a lot in these shows that I know just pisses people off, but everything, and here we go, see if I piss you off today. Everything you are, everything, what your life is like, what your body is like, you created. The good, the bad, the ugly, the mistakes, the good things, the successes, whatever you want to call them, you are the creator of that. You made the choices, even from I'm going to go into these parents. See, that's what cracks me up about always blaming the parents, is it's you chose them. I used to joke with my sweet mom before she died. She's like, hey, you chose me. It's your own damn fault. And I'm like, yeah, show me the paperwork. Show me the paperwork. But I actually knew. I knew I chose her. I didn't need the paperwork. But it was a joke. It's so even from the beginning, it's we try to blame our parents, yet we chose to come into our parents. And when I say that, use the light heavy tool I'm always talking about. Does it make you feel light? Does it make you feel heavy? And, again, it's that moment of that first awareness, that first knowing comes in. Because then we start thinking about it. Because I've had some people, when I've asked them this question, it's well, truth, don't you know you chose your parents? And for a second, their universe lightens. And then that's the knowing coming in. And then they start thinking, I would have never chosen these parents because they're horrible people, blah, 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 blah. That's when you're thinking. That's when you're getting into reason and justification. That's when it's something else. Okay? Okay. So for and this is why I spend a lot of time on this about you choose your own parents. Because be your own mistake. This is what I mean. Be your own mistake. We're not the mistake of somebody else. We're not the mistake of liking to blame others. That's just a scapegoat, you guys. How many times do we actually making the world the scapegoats for our lives? And really, it just keeps us from choosing anything. Okay? But when you actually acknowledge that we are the creators of our lives, the creators of our bodies, no matter how it is, what it looks like, here's the exciting thing. That also means you have the ability to create it differently or to create more. You're like, but I have a great life. Good. You can create more of that. Change does not always mean a 180, a complete opposite of what it is now. So how many of us are actually desiring to, or how many of us are not choosing to change our lives because somewhere we've bought the point of view that changing is the complete opposite? And it's this part, I'm pretty much okay. And so I'm afraid if I do anything different, it's just going to be horrible from that moment. And this is good enough. I don't want to rock the boat. I don't want to make it worse, so this is okay. Right? Change does not always mean the opposite. Change does not mean two ends of the spectrum, two choices. You either get black, you either get white, you either get male or you get female. It's not clear division between the two. It is literally, change is, what if you just change seats and change the world? That's what this reality calls a small change. But what if it's a big change also? You know, the old adage, a butterfly flaps its wings in one country and it's a hurricane in another from that. It's like, yeah. So change does not always mean the exact opposite. Does not always mean it's like, well, is it going to get worse? If it's better now, I'm not going to change anything because it's just going to get worse. You know, and what I love to hear, I love when people say, it cracks me up now, because I used to say it all the time too, is, well, it can't get any worse, so I might as well do something. Okay, so how many of us are actually waiting for that worst possible thing so that we can change? Okay, everything that brought up, CERN and created, right? Good Rebel Balkan Ladies, boys, and beyond. And that is an example of the Access Consciousness Verbal Clearing Statement, which Right Body for You is a division of Access Consciousness. So we use the Access tools to help change the energy that's underneath all of these things. You know, one of the great things about Access is it helps you change your point of view. And what I mean by change your point of view is just get clear about it. It doesn't always mean that you change your opinion or change how you're doing things, but it does get you to the clarity of that you're choosing. You might have heard me say that word a couple times this show, that you're choosing something, okay? And this is one of the things I love about Be Your Own Mistake, is because it is about acknowledging the choices that you've made, okay? And then this whole thing about blaming others, you know, my mom, amazing woman, very unique, very out there on the limb, doing what's interestingly things as mainstream, like yoga, when it wasn't mainstream, when it was that craziness, you know, and she always had a slightly different point of view than the rest of our family. And I tended to go with her direction. And what's interesting was how often my family would blame what I was like on her. And I didn't even realize how much it pissed me off until I got older, until I got to that place of awareness of myself, where I was like, stop blaming me on Mom. I am me. No matter what it is, the good, the bad, the ugly, these are my choices. And so it was really interesting when I was able to get to that place of vulnerability with myself to be like, this is me. This is not anybody else's, quote unquote, fault. This is me. And it's not about I'm taking responsibility for myself. It's just about being aware of who you be, how you be, and the choices you've made so you can choose something else or choose the same thing, okay? We're going to take a next little break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about this, about being vulnerable with yourself. So it's not about blaming somebody else for who you be or how you be, but being vulnerable with yourself and actually being able to look at that and go, okay, maybe, right? How many of us just, when we talk about that, delve into the just like kind of that sound of like, right? So when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about that, okay? Yes, specifically that sound. All right, this is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You on A to Zen.fm, and we'll be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body for You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body for You energetic tools to change their body and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A to Zen.fm.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Dane here, and I would like to invite you to an adventure in being. I've just written and finished a new book known as Being You, Changing the World. Are you one of those dreamers? One of those people who's always known that other possibilities should be available but haven't yet been able to see them be created? Well, I wrote this book for you. In it, you'll find tools, processes, and unique perspectives to change the things you've always wanted to change but didn't know how. In it, you'll find an invitation to a different possibility for a way that we can be in this world that changes not only our lives, but by being us, allows us to contribute to changing everything planet-wide that doesn't work. Are you aware that truly great people, truly being them, is the only thing that has ever created a great change on this planet? Are you willing to step up? Are you willing to be one? Check out a copy of my new book, Being You, Changing the World. I invite you to go to beingyoubook.com for a free gift.
What would you say if I told you that you could change your life in only 1 hour and all while lying down relaxing? Thousands of people all over the world have. What am I talking about? It's called Access Consciousness, the bars. The bars is an energetic body process that contains 32 different points on your head that when run assist you in releasing decisions about any area of your life that you have made solid and as a result cannot change. The bars is the first class in Access Consciousness, a dynamic set of tools and information designed to transform any area of your life. When you have a bars session, the worst that can happen is you feel like you had a fantastic massage. The best thing that can happen is your whole life could change. Go to accessconsciousness.com today to find a facilitator to schedule a private session or to find a bars class in your area. Are you willing to give yourself an hour to change your life?
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at a2zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. I am your host, Donnielle, on her own adventure today, and I get to share this adventure with you. I am so super grateful. All right, so today we're talking about be your own mistake. Because how many of us just love to blame others for our lives? You know, it's like, it wasn't me, it was them. It wasn't me, it was my mom. It wasn't me, it was my dad. It wasn't me, it was the horrible boss. It wasn't my fault. It was them. I knew what I was doing. They didn't know. Or not me. It's not me. It was the elephant under the, you know, it's like that Family Circus cartoon or whatever. They actually have, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that. It's this it's an old cartoon. A drawn cartoon, and so comic, I guess. And it was mom, dad, and these bunch of kids, and the kids had this. They would be like the mom or dad, who broke this lamp? Not me, not me. Like you're the only one in the room. It's not me. It's not me. And then, you know, once the parents left the room, they could see like a little ghost thing that had the words on it, not me. And so it was like, it was literally, it wasn't me. It was not me. It was this little entity thing, right? Which I always thought that was hilarious when I was a kid, that they were blaming it on this entity. Or like, you know, so, you know, we could debate forever on the comic if it was the not me, the entity, or the not me, the kid, you know. But I just thought that was funny. But how often do we actually like to do that? How often do we like to shift the blame, you know? And we go, not me. They did it. Not me. Wasn't me. And how many of us actually do that? It's like, oh, crap. I did something wrong. Let me see how I can change this so it wasn't me, right? So, because we do this, we think it's the way to be because we've been taught that, you know. And how many of us have been told, oh, it's not your fault, it's your parents. We've been taught, we've been trained this. Blame somebody else. And this is why I love the topic of the show: is be your own mistake. Acknowledge who you be, how you be, and what you be by the choices that you made, starting with the choice of your parents. You came in choosing those parents. You knew the exact moment in time to put those two people together to create you and your body. I know a lot of us like to blame our body on the genes, and I don't mean Jeans like, Calvin Klein or Levi's. I mean Genes, genes from the family, DNA, RNA, LNA, all of that kind of fun stuff. Those things that try to tell us how tall we can be, how short we can be, how fat we can be, how healthy we can be. We like to blame things on other people. We do. We like to shift this. How much change do we actually create when we try to shift all of that blame, when we try to shove it off and go, not me, wasn't me. I didn't possibly do that. So I'm asking you, even now, challenge you. Look at yourself. Be your own mistake. What if blaming you for you is the potency and the power to actually create that change you've been asking for? Because when you're shifting the blame to somebody else, what you're doing is you're actually creating an energetic barrier between you and the awarenesses of what would actually change things. Because if you're not willing to look at a situation as it is, then you can't get the awareness of what it is to change it, what is required to change it, what actions are done, what is needed. So when you shift the blame, not me, my parents, not me, the boss, not me, genes, not me, insanity, not me, crazy people running through the streets, whatever, not me. You create this energetic barrier because in essence, you try to cut off your awareness. I've said it before, you can't actually cut off your awareness, but you can try to pretend it's not there. Sometimes we're really good at that, trying to pretend it's not there. And one of these ways of pretending the awareness is not there is to blame other people, okay? Other circumstances, other environments, or whatever it is, anything but who you are, what you be, and how you be, okay? So when you're willing to be vulnerable with it, you get clarity, okay? And what do I mean about being vulnerable? What I mean is you don't actually look at it and go, this is right, this is wrong. You don't sit there and go, well, okay, this part is okay. And then when it got to here, that's when I was a piece of shit. No, this is not what I'm talking about. That's just judgment. And if you've ever heard me say anything, it's usually don't do judgment. It's, judgment is the ultimate, as Gary Douglas says, judgment is the ultimate poison to the body as well as your life, So when you're willing to be vulnerable with a situation and your life, which in this circumstance, your situation is your life and your body, yes, your body, judgment is not invited. Judgment does not give you clarity. Judgment just muddies up the waters. It's like, it's like trying to see your life through bubbles. Have you ever, imagine a bubble, a big bubble, so you can, use it, right? So you can look through it. When you're looking at something encased in a bubble, do you get a clear perception of what it is? No, you don't get a clear perception of what it is. It's kind of there, a little blurry, a little distorted. The person's nose looks a little crooked. Things are a little bit out of alignment. It's a bit cloudy and, kind of moving and, constantly in motion, things like that. So when you blame other people or you look at something and have judgment in it, it's kind of like encasing these things in bubbles. So it's like you're trying to change your body, okay? You're asking questions about changing your body, or you're asking questions about changing your life. And then if you're using blame, wasn't me, was my genes. It's not my fault, it's my genes. Oh, sure, they can eat anything they want to, but if I just smell sugar, I gain weight. That's just not fair. Okay? Blaming others. I mean, and that's the thing. It's not a direct line to blame. It's not you look at that and, that's, oh, well, they can eat anything they want, and if I smell sugar, I gain weight. There's room for a lot of people's blame in that. Okay? But what you're really doing is you're creating these energetic energetic bubbles around it, walls, barriers, whatever you'd like to call it. And you're warping your perspective of what you can actually see to change it, okay? Because when you say something like, it's that blah, 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 that they can eat anything they can't want, and if I smell sugar, I gain weight. So you're blaming your genes, GENES, genes. You're blaming you're blaming sugar. You're blaming you for a bit about not choosing parents wisely or whatever that is. Or you're not blaming you for not choosing your parents wisely, but you're sitting there going, oh, I'm at the effect, I'm so pathetic of everything, when that's not what it is. So there's layers upon layers upon layers of blame. And one thing I really want to talk about with this whole be your own mistake and being vulnerable is it doesn't mean you're a bully, okay? This is something that is very, 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 very times a gazillion important that you hear me say this, please. Being vulnerable with yourself does not mean you are a bully. What do I mean by that? Being vulnerable with your body, being vulnerable with your life, being vulnerable with the situation is that you're able to look at it with no point of view, no judgment, to see as it is, what it is, so that you can actually create the change that you're asking for, okay? When you're being a bully, it's when you have that judgment in there. And it's like, oh, yeah, well, I'm just a piece of crap. I'm just being honest with myself. No, you're being a bully to yourself, okay? Being vulnerable with yourself, again, looking at a situation, your body, whatever it is, with no point of view. Just looking at like, okay, well, that part kind of worked, that part kind of didn't work. That was an interesting choice, and what awareness did I get from that? Or that was kind of fun, let's choose that again. Not from, wow, I was stupid to choose that. See, it didn't work, and it was horrible. What I got was just horrible. I am so stupid. See, I should not ever choose anything again. That's being bully, okay? Whereas instead you go, interesting point of view. It's just like, oh, I chose that. Yeah, it didn't quite work out the way I was desiring, so I'm going to choose something else. Vulnerable. Being a bully is, yeah, I chose that, didn't work out. I am so stupid. I can't believe I chose that. If I had not chosen that then, I would be so much further along now. I'm such an idiot. Being a bully. Okay? Listen to me again. Vulnerable does not mean being a bully. Anytime you say, well, I'm just being honest with myself, look at the energy of that. Is that light and fuzzy? Or does it make you want to cry and go rock in a corner? Right? Okay. So we're going to take our last little break. And please, 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 during the break, kind of look at this. When were you being vulnerable and when were you being a bully? And what did that create in your life? When you're being vulnerable with you and your body in the situation, what did that create? Versus when you were being a bully, and what did that create? Okay? So I hope you look at that a little bit. We're going to take a quick little break. When we come back, we're gonna look at what you looked at and see what you got. Okay. All right. This is Donnielle. This is Right Body for You on A2Zen.fm, and we'll be right back.
What if your body could be an ease and not a burden? What would life be like if you could enjoy your body? What if changing your body was easier than we've been taught? And what if it's not about the latest fad? Join Donnielle each week on Right Body for You as she explores what bodies are and the ease of change that's possible. Each week you will receive inspirational stories of those who've used the Right Body for You energetic tools to change their body and the tools that they used, tools that you can begin to use immediately. Listen for Right Body for You every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain, and 11 a.m. Pacific on A2Zen.fm.
What if there's nothing wrong with you? What if you're far greater than you've ever given yourself credit for? What if it's time to know the gift and the contribution you are to the world and to like yourself a lot more? Hi, my name is Dane here. 13 years ago I started to truly ask questions. Actually, I started to be the question, and everything changed for me. Asking questions opens doors to infinite possibilities. And it's not about finding the answer, it's about being the question. Always. What I'm inviting you to step into is something that Einstein, Marie Curie, Newton, Da Vinci, Gandhi, Picasso, and Aristotle all knew to be true. What if no question is too big or too small? What if anything is possible for you? What if together we could create a kinder, gentler, happier world? Is now the time? Go to beingyouclass.com and sign up for a free video series, My Gift to You. beingyouclass.com. What if you, truly being you, are the gift and change this world requires? beingyouclass.com.
Check out the new ringtones from Access Consciousness.
What is it possible? What is it possible? Smoking hot. Smoking hot.
And everyone's favorite,
Take a pass. Take a pass.
download the latest and hottest accessory. Go to accessconsciousness.com/ringtones for all the details on how to download to your iPhone today.
This is Right Body for You with Donnielle. To participate in the program today, please call in the U.S. 815-880-8255 or Canada 613-800-8763 or UK 4433-0001-0625. You can Skype us at A2Zen.fm. Or if you'd like to email a question, please send it to Donnielle at accessconsciousness.com. Now, back to the program.
And welcome back to Right Body for You. This is Donnielle, your host. Today we're talking about be your own mistake. Don't blame others for who you be, how you be, or what you be, because when you do that, you're putting a layer of judgment, a layer of not me, a layer of what you're trying to create as being invisible to the awarenesses of what would actually create change in your life. Before the break, we were talking about vulnerability versus being a bully. Vulnerability is looking at a situation, a body, whatever it is, as it is, and acknowledging the choices that created it versus being a bully and calling yourself an idiot for creating it or whatever creative things that you can think of to call yourself or be a bully to yourself about. Because who knows better than you what buttons you push to create the sadness or the angst or the upset in your life? We do. We are some of the best bullies in our lives, okay? So I'm asking you, don't do that. What else is possible when you actually look at this and go, you know what? I did choose that. I did create that. And you know what? I am my own mistake. And mistake, as you can see, even the energy of the word mistake has changed since then, since the beginning of the show. At the beginning of the show, you're like, mistake, and now you're like, mistake, ha, 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 right? Because you realize it's like, what if nothing actually ever was a mistake? And what I mean by what if blaming yourself for the mistake you be is giving you the power and the potency. I'm sorry, not the mistake you be, but what if the true power and ability to change is blaming yourself for you instead of blaming others, instead of blaming environment, society, parents. You can look at it and go, you know what, my life and my body, I've created it as it is. But you know what? That also means I can create it differently, or I can create it the same. We talked a little bit about today about how change does not always mean the exact opposite. Change does not always mean it's going to look completely different tomorrow. Can that occur? Sure. Does that occur every time? Not necessarily, because what if you enjoy 98% of your life? Cool. Changing does not mean you go down to enjoying your life 50%. just means something's different. What if you could enjoy your life 98% still and it looked different or slightly different, or enjoy yourself 100% of the time? I know, crazy woman talking. Enjoy yourself 100% of the time. But please do look at this, okay? Vulnerability at you, at the situation, your life, the situation of your life, your life, your body, being vulnerable with it. Look at it and go, you know what? Yeah, I created this. It's not right. It's not wrong. It's not a mistake. It's just me. It's not somebody else's fault. It's just who I be, how I be. And if you're vulnerable with it, not a bully. If you find yourself judging you, please stop. Use the Access Consciousness tools, PodPoc, everything comes up, and just look at it and go, okay, so what would I like to choose now? I chose that. It's not good. It's not bad. It's not right. It's not wrong. It's just I chose it, and what would I like to choose now? Okay? Because please, you guys, you are not like others. And what I mean by that is not to create a sense of separation. It's just you are unique. There's a reason that, we talk about everybody's like a snowflake, because you are. You're unique. Your life, your quote-unquote mistakes, your creations are not like others. And when I say you are a gift to the world, I mean you are a unique gift to the world. Even all the things you, as a bully, think are bad about you. What if that's not? Okay, so please look at this. Look at what energy is created when you blame other people for who you be, how you be, what you be. You put up these energetic barriers to being able to actually perceive what's going on or how to change something if that's what you desire. But when you're vulnerable and you're willing to look at it and go, yeah, okay, it wasn't your fault. I created this. I chose that. You get the clarity that is required to receive from the universe the information of what will actually create the change that you've been asking for, whether it's your body or whether it's your life. Okay, so please check it out. Be vulnerable. Don't be a bully. No one likes a bully, even if you're bullying yourself. Be vulnerable. Okay, not a bully. Be vulnerable. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this, and please check it out. I will be doing a Right Body for You workshop in Seattle, Washington, United States, July 15th through the 18th. And we have so much fun with this, you guys. You don't have to have something wrong with your body or something wrong with your life for you to join us. It's just if you would desire more, we have a great time. We talk about communication with your body, building that up. Being vulnerable with your body and your life, not being a bully, but being vulnerable with your body and your life. Getting clarity on things, words, and we talk about bodies and words and languaging, money, earth. We have a great time. So check it out, DonnielleCarter.accessconsciousness.com, DONNIELLE, Carter, CARTER. accessconsciousness.com for a full schedule and to register. But I hope you consider joining us. We have such a good time. We laugh, we joke, and trust me, some of the faces I make with some of the sounds I make, pretty dang funny. So it's even funner to see it in person. And for me, so much changes when we laugh with it, not at it. At it being the bully. With it is being that vulnerable. Okay, and we do talk a lot about that. We laugh, we have a good time. We change our lives, we change our bodies, and we change the world. Little things like that. So I hope you check it out. My next one is in Seattle, July 15th through the 18th. I hope you can join us. And please do check out the archives. I have so many shows, and I have so much fun on everyone. Everyone is such an adventure unto itself. I am Energy's bitch, and where I think it's going is never where it ends up. Okay? So I hope you enjoyed this, and drop me a line sometime, Donnielle@accessconsciousness.com. And remember, make it a happy week. Make it a fun week. Enjoy your body, because it's enjoying you. And I hope to see you back here next week, because you know what? I'll be here, and I hope you'll join me. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great one, and bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Right Body for You. Donnielle will return next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Mountain and 11 a.m. Pacific on A to Zen.fm. We hope you and your body will join us.